my God, everybody. Hey, I got me a track-by-track donation from Dan Vinciguerra, who wants me to put Iced Earth's Horror Show versus D. Snider's Van Helsing's Curse. I think that was the name of it. I could be wrong. Let me look it up here real quick. Yeah, Van Helsing. D. Snider Van Helsing's Curse versus Iced Earth's Horror Show. Wants me to combine track 1 and 2 from the Van Helsing and include the bonus track Transylvania from Iced Earth, making it 11 tracks each. Alright, so look, I'm a big fan of Horror Show. Sometimes I think it's the best. I'm conflicted with Horror Show and Burnt Offerings. Which one of those two is my favorite? Most of the times it's Burnt Offerings, but man, Horror Show, man, this is the crazy thing about Iced Earth, which shows how dead metal was, like as far as popularity goes. Man, Iced Earth had such a buzz, an incredible buzz by the time of Something Wicked This Way Comes. Everybody's talking about Iced Earth this, Iced Earth that. They're like on the cusp of becoming big, right? Then they released this album, a freaking masterpiece, Horror Show, and it doesn't propel them to the stratosphere like it should have. You know, it's sold like, you know, to the fans like me, but it didn't really, you know, it was sad, man, that this album did not become like huge. I think any band like this in the 80s, like, you know, give you an example, like Iron Maiden with the first 2 albums, A Number of the Beast, you know, Judas Priest. Well, Judas Priest took a little longer, but still, you know, these bands became huge with albums that their quality of those albums are no different than the quality of Horror Show. Horror Show should have been huge. D. Snider's Van Helsing's Curse, I've never heard before. And I'm a big D. Snider fan. I don't know. I like vaguely remember, like I thought D. Snider did this Van Helsing's Curse in some off-Broadway thing. I didn't even know it had an album out. And yeah, D. Snider does spoken word throughout this whole album, and he sings on it. And it's really not my thing, to tell you the truth. I wasn't really impressed with it. But, you know, let's go track by track, all right? Start with Wolfman. You know, it's a song about Wolfman. Going against Patience, the intro, and Tubular Hell, which is, you know, the theme of Exorcist. It sounds like the Exorcist played by Trans-Siberian Orchestra. I'm not into stuff like that. I'm sorry. I'm going to give that to Wolf. All right, next, Damien. One of probably my second favorite song on this album. And that goes against All Fall Down. Again, I didn't really care for it. Definitely got to give that one to Iced Earth. Easily, actually. Damien is such an epic, long-ass tune, but so epic. And, you know, about the Omen. It's amazing. All right, next. Jack, a song about Jack the Ripper. And, you know, ironically enough, this song rips. And this is going against Let Me Pray. This one's okay, you know, the whole spooky vibe and women chanting, not bad, but I'm still going with Iced Earth. All right, next, Ghosts of Freedom. This is not like, this whole album's about horror movies and stuff. This one's actually a concept from Matt Barlow, and it's killer. It's like an awesome ballad with an epic solo, and that's going against The Child, which, yeah, I don't care for it, to tell you the truth. It loses. All right, next. I'm Hotep. This song's about the mummy, and it has some crunchy riffs, and the vocal structures are just freaking amazing. Epic tune, and that's going against The Tortured Soul. And this one's not bad, even though I'm not so into the symphonic stuff, you know, here, you know, it's okay, you know, but, you know, I'm still going to go with the Mummy song. All right, next, Jekyll and Hyde. This song is killer, heavy and moody. It's an awesome song, and that's going against Revenge, and this one is all over the place. Not into it. It loses. All right, next, Dragon's Child, and this song's about Creatures Black Lagoon, which I just watched the other day. I have that Blu-ray box set of all the Universal monsters. It has like Dracula and the Mummy and, you know, Frankenstein and all that stuff. And man, I was watching Creatures of Black Lagoon the other day. What an awesome movie, man. One of my favorites. One of my favorites from all those movies, man. I love it. And yeah, I love this song too. It's awesome. And that's going against War. Not a bad cover of the classical piece that inspired the first Black Sabbath song. And you know what? I'm actually going to give it to D. Snider Van Helsing's Curse on this one. I really did like that cover of War. All right, with the tritone and stuff. Next, Frankenstein, killer song, and that's going against The Pain Began. More creepy music with women crooning, but it loses. It's not bad, but it loses. All right, next, my favorite track off our show, Dracula. What a total epic tune. And that's going against The Curse. And it's, yeah, this one's just a spoken word thing and it loses. All right, the next one is the Phantom Opera's Ghost, which is about the Phantom of the Opera, and what an epic ending to a killer album. And that's going against Halloween, which is, you know, the movie, you know, soundtrack, but made like more metallic. Not bad, but it loses. All right, the last song, Dan asked me to add Transylvania, which is the instrumental Iron Maiden song from the first album. My favorite Maiden album, and even though it's good, it's not as good as the original, I don't think. And that's going against a song called Cry Little Sister, which is the best song on here. I actually really like this tune. It wins. I'm giving it to D. Snider Van Helsing's, whatever. All right, so Dan, this is the final score. And yeah, Ice Earth wiped the floor here. But man, what an incredible album, man. And even though I wasn't into the Van Helsing thing, some of the things I did like. And just about every song, it had elements that were cool. But then it got all symphonic and it lost me. But anyway, thanks again, Dan. And thank you, everybody out there watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Ring that little notification bell. I really would appreciate that. And leave your comments below if you know these albums. Tell me what you think. And like the video, because that's good for the YouTube algorithms. So stay frosty. Listen to Iced Earth Horror Show. And smack 'em a gob.